Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams. I am a psychic medium, energy healer, animal communicator, and spiritual teacher. And today I want to talk to you about your intuition. A lot of people don't know what their intuition is. There's things that, we call it like the gut feeling, instincts, whatever that may be. But I want to take a minute and explain to you exactly what that intuitive feeling is, what it feels like, and then also how to know is it if it's your intuition or if it's your ego mind, because obviously we don't want to get trapped in the cycles of listening to the ego mind. We want to listen to the our intuitive that those intuitive nudges or that intuitive guidance. So ultimately, your intuition, like I said, it's that gut feeling. It's that inner knowing that this is right. That whatever this is, it's right. This could be, around um, like it could be around a job, it could be around a move. Typically, most people will feel their intuitive guidance around like big things in their life, like big changes in their life. So the problem is, though, is what happens is we have that intuitive nudge, we have that like that gut feeling of yeah, yes, this is what we need to do, this is the direction we need to go in, and then we overthink it. And as soon as it gets from that gut feeling into your head, it's fair game for the ego. So we start to overthink it, we start to overanalyze it, we start to question, well, should I or shouldn't I? And it comes down to the fact that if you just trust, and this is a big one, but if you just trust that first intuitive nudge and do the thing it says to do without overthinking it or trying to overanalyze it, things will go a lot smoother in your life. We typically like we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. A lot of people have a huge fear of failure, so this is why we get to into that cycle of overthinking and overanalyzing. But ultimately, that gut feeling is the one you should always listen to because it's the one that will never ever steer you in the wrong direction. If you listen to your intuitive guidance, whatever wherever it leads you, it's leading you into the exact place that you're meant to be. You don't have to make sense of it. It probably isn't going to make sense to you right at the beginning, and that's okay because you don't necessarily see the big picture. Where your higher self and your spirit team, they do see the highest the bigger picture. They see the entire picture, and they see what direction that you need to go in. So these intuitive nudges are typically from your higher self, your soul self, but they also can be from your guides as well. Don't get hung up on who it's coming from. Be more, just be more inclined to just trust it and just do it. Don't allow yourself to overthink it. Typically, when we start to overthink things, we end up not doing it. And the guidance that you're getting, that intuitive guidance that you're getting it for a reason. You're getting it so that you can move in the direction that you're meant to. So how you know if this this profound feeling that you have to do something or to do things in a particular way, how you know if it's your higher self or your soul self, or your ego, is that your higher self will always lead from a place of love. There will be no fear. And how you know, just think back to any time where you just had this very strong urge almost to go and do something in your life. And it was just like that moment that it hit you was like so full of 100%. You were 100% for sure. Like there was no doubt in your mind that that's what you needed to do. There might have even been a little bit of excitement around it, and then it got to a point where you started thinking about it and you ended up talking yourself out of it. That talking yourself out of it, the reason you talk yourself out of it is because that's where the fear comes up. It gets into the ego mind and it ends up stopping you right in your tracks and you don't do the thing that you're meant to do. So ultimately, when you are given some kind of intuitive guidance, you don't take that in that minute, in that moment. You don't take that as intuitive guidance to go do the thing. Um, you're going to be left with like, well, can I trust it or can I not trust it? The thing is, we typically trust the ego mind because the ego mind keeps us safe. But we're not here to play it safe. We're here to do the scary things. We're here to do the big things in our life. Um, Now, that all being said, too, it doesn't mean that if you miss the internal guidance, like you completely miss it, or even if you receive it and you're aware of it, but you let the ego mind get the best of you, don't be upset with yourself. You're gonna still end up being where you're meant to be. You're just gonna necessarily take the long way around. And the truth of it is things are gonna become uncomfortable because at that point we start living a life that's very uncomfortable, uh, to show us that this is not what's in alignment with us. What we should have done was, obviously take that intuitive guidance and taken it and done something with it, but don't beat yourself up over it if you failed it, if you, like, you didn't pass this test, so to speak, right? And no, I don't believe that the universe is testing us at all, ever. um, but I do believe that we have experiences that come to us that are meant to show us, either our lack of growth or the growth that we've had. So yeah, sometimes we can have, it can feel like a test, but it's just showing you that there's still parts of you that need to grow in that area. And listening to your intuitive nudges, or um, following them, is definitely one of those things that it takes some time. The biggest thing, like I said, is if it's coming from a place of love, you know, 100%, you can 100% know that you can trust that. The higher self is also going to, it's also going to spur you into action, so it's going to require some sort of momentum or movement from you. um where the fear self, like the ego self, the fear aspect absolutely will not. It wants you to stop and not do anything. It's just like, just stay exactly where you are, don't do anything. um but like I said, unfortunately, we get stuck in not doing anything because that feels safe to us. And there's no fear of failing or doing the wrong thing when you're listening to the ego mind. But the ego mind is not the one that we need to listen to. And unfortunately, we're not taught this. We're not taught that we need to take these risks. We need to take these chances, because it comes down to it that that's what true living is. Living isn't playing it safe. And now I'm not telling you to like jump out of a perfectly good airplane or do anything wild or crazy like that. I mean, if that's your thing, then that's fine. You do you. But what I'm talking about is like just even the simple day to day things where you're getting intuitive nudges or any kind of guidance. Uh, just trust it. 100% of the time, you can trust it, providing it's coming from a place of love and it's spurring you into action. The fear and the holding you back is not the one that you want to listen to. Your intuition, now obviously some people is like their intuition is a little bit stronger than others, but your intuition honestly is just like a muscle that you need to flex it, you need to use it, you need to trust it in order for it to grow. And also in order for you to become more comfortable with recognizing when it's an intuitive nudge that you're getting, but also knowing that following that intuitive nudge is going to land you exactly where you're meant to be. The more you use it, the more that you trust it, the stronger it's going to get, and the less you're going to fear you trusting it. So take it one day at a time, take it one step at a time, and just know that at the end of the day, you're still going to end up exactly where you're meant to be. But listening to your intuition is definitely the path less travel, or the path less the path of least resistance to get you to where you want to be, and that's why you're receiving those intuitive nudges. Settling and listening with the to the ego mind is going to be a lot more resistance on your path, and it's going to make life seem harder for you. So yeah, even though it might seem scary to listen to the intuition, it's actually a much smoother path in your life to follow that. And actually, like, I mean, you live a life of peace and happiness, and it's, life almost becomes easy once you start to learn that. But like anything that you're going to learn, you've got to take time and you have to unlearn what you already know about that, and then just start practicing a new way of being. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.